It's Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. Coming up in the luncheon edition of news, groovy semi-finals take center stage tonight, and 18 young men graduate from St. Andrew's Boys to Men program. In the region, government launches Commission of Inquiry. On international front, Saudis must recognize Israel for nuclear deal, says Trump. And in sports, St. John's Sports play their first match of the 2026 CFU Club Shield today, and that would take place in Trinidad. We have details to these, plus other stories when we return. The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Bryden and Miners.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
Us with the details, I am Christlina John. China has called for stronger global cooperation on artificial intelligence following the 2026 World AI Conference and high-level meeting on global AI governance in Shanghai. The conference, held from July 17th to the 20th, brought together international leaders and technology experts to discuss the future of AI. In his keynote address, Chinese President Xi Jinping urged countries to promote AI development that is open, secure, inclusive, and governed through international cooperation. According to a release from the Chinese Embassy in Grenada, a major outcome of the meeting was the launch of the World Artificial Intelligence Cooperation Organization, or WAICO, with 29 founding member countries. The organization aims to help bridge the global digital divide and strengthen AI capacity, particularly in developing nations. China also announced a plan to provide 5,000 AI training opportunities over the next 5 years, establish international AI cooperation centers with regional organizations, and expand access to AI-powered weather warning systems in 30 countries. The conference highlighted growing international collaboration with more than 1,100 exhibitors and over 150 forums focused on AI innovation and governance. The discussions are considered particularly relevant for developing countries, including Grenada, as they seek to build digital skills, strengthen AI capacity, and ensure greater participation in shaping the future of global AI governance. Excitement is building as the Brian Griffith Groovy semi-final takes center stage tonight at Progress Park in St. Andrew, with 26 artists vying for a coveted. Mozo has the honor of being the first performer on stage, setting the tone for what is expected to be an entertaining night of music and high-energy performances. This year's semi-final lineup features 5 female artists, adding further diversity and competitiveness to the contest as they challenge for a place in the final round. With anticipation and an all-time high, supporters from across the island are rallying behind their favorite performance, while many anticipate standout performances. The Brian Griffith Groovy Monarch and Soca Monarch competitions remain among the most anticipated events of Grenada's Spice Mass season, and with the finals fast approaching, excitement is building. While options differ on who has what it takes to capture the titles, one thing is certain: Carnival enthusiasts are expecting an unforgettable night of competition as the race for Groovy Monarch honors intensifies. 18 young men have successfully completed the St. Andrew edition of the Boys to Men program, an initiative of the Men's Bureau within the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. The graduation ceremony brought together participants, parents, guardians, mentors, facilitators, ministry officials, and other well-wishers to celebrate the achievements of the young men after 6 weeks of training and personal development. The program targets young men between the ages 12 to 18 through psychoeducation and mentorship training. Addressing the ceremony, Minister for Social and Community Development and Gender Affairs, Senator Gloria Thomas, underscored the importance of investing in young men, saying that strengthening boys and young men helps build stronger families, safer communities, and more resilient Grenada.
Importantly, the program reinforced a key principle. Healthy manhood is grounded in self-discipline, respect, responsible decision-making, honest communication, and the courage to seek help when needed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to inform you that the program has moved beyond conversation into deliberate action that equips participants with practical skills to reject discrimination and violence, resolve conflict peacefully, communicate effectively, and become co-champions for social justice. Demonstrate to others that masculinity can be grounded in kindness, accountability, confidence, and care.
Senator Thomas also reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to a grassroots engagement and initiatives aimed at promoting positive male development. Throughout the 6-week program, participants took part in sessions focused on healthy communication, positive behavioral change, mentorship, and the promotion of healthy masculinity. They also explored issues of social justice and were encouraged to be positive role models and advocates within their communities. Senior Program Officer in the Ministry of Social and Community Development is Isinta Alexis.
The best investment you will ever make is in yourself. Invest in your mind by continuing your education, asking questions, and building useful skills. Invest in your well-being by caring for your physical and mental health and having the courage to seek help. Invest in your character by keeping your word, accepting responsibility, respecting others, and resolving conflict without violence. During this program, you learned about healthy communication, consent and boundaries, managing emotions, coping with pressure, respectful relationships, and making thoughtful decisions. These lessons become powerful only when you apply them at home, at school, in the workplace, and in your community.
The graduates received certificates and special awards in recognition of their participation and commitment to the program. The ministry has announced that planning is already underway for a third cycle of the Boys to Men program, which is expected to be held in St. David later in the third quarter of this year. And finally, on the local front, the Energy Efficiency Communication Campaign, better known as E2C2, is back, renewing its commitment to encouraging Grenadians to adopt simple, practical habits that can reduce energy consumption and lower electricity cost. The campaign aims to demonstrate that small, everyday changes such as switching off unused appliances, using energy-efficient lighting, and being mindful of electricity use can make a significant difference over time. Through a series of public awareness activities, community engagement initiatives, and practical energy-saving tips, E2C2 is equipping households and businesses with the knowledge needed to make smarter energy decisions. Organizers say the campaign not only helps consumers save money on their electricity bills, but also contributes to a cleaner environment by promoting more sustainable energy use across the country. As the campaign continues, the public is being encouraged to play their part by embracing energy-efficient practices and sharing what they learn with others, helping to build a more energy-conscious and environmentally responsible Grenada. And here ends the first segment of the news, which came to you compliments Brighton and Miners. Do stay with us. The regional highlights are up next.
This is a warning. We out and bad. Yes, it's your girl Cole Baldeo reminding you guys to stay locked into GBN for the Spice Mass season every and anywhere you are. Remember to follow me on all social media platforms. Stay tuned for new music, good music, because Jab don't fall in love. We only fall in oil. You know how we do it. Yeah.
And thanks for staying with us. Now for a look across the region, where St. Lucia government will launch a formal commission of inquiry as Anse-Couchon boat collision death toll rises to 4. This segment of the news, the second segment, comes to you compliments Fortune Foods Limited.
Before the digital age, before the world moved at the speed of a click, there was a signal connecting a nation. In 1986, a journey in broadcasting began in Grenada, a journey that would grow into a trusted voice across the country. For 40 years, through radio and television, we've been there for the stories that shaped our nation, the news that mattered, the voices that informed us, the moments that brought us together. Your stories, your voices, your moments. The Grenada Broadcasting Network, 40 years strong. One nation, one network.
The government of St. Lucia will establish a formal commission of inquiry into Saturday night's fatal maritime collision off Anse-Couchon. The announcement follows the recovery of what authorities believe to be the remains of 2 missing passengers. Press Secretary Melissa Paul confirmed the judicial inquiry following the sinking of the pirogue Mango Tawls after it collided with the vessel Ocean Angel just before midnight on July 18th.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre has announced that the government of St. Lucia will appoint a commission of inquiry into the circumstances surrounding the tragic marine collision at Anse-Couchon involving 2 vessels on July 18, 2026, which claimed the lives of at least 2 St. Lucians. The commission will be formally appointed by the Governor General and will be chaired by a former high-ranking member of the judiciary.
The panel will bring together legal, maritime operational and law enforcement experts to evaluate regulatory oversight.
It will also include experts in marine operations, marine safety, as well as a police investigator. The commission will be expected to make recommendations to strengthen maritime safety, improve regulatory oversight, and reduce the risk of similar tragedies in the future. Prime Minister Pierre said the tragic loss of life had deeply affected the nation and underscored the government of St. Lucia's responsibility to establish the facts surrounding the incident and ensure that every lesson is learned.
Official terms of reference for the inquiry will be published shortly.
The Commission's terms of reference will be announced subsequently. Prime Minister Pierre said the government is committed to ensuring that the Commission's work results in meaningful improvement that enhances the safety of everyone who uses St. Lucia's waters.
These developments follow years of repeated public warnings from maritime consultant Cuthbert Didier regarding unzoned coastal waters and unenforced maritime laws. With 20 deaths now recorded in recreational waters over the past decade, safety advocates maintain that this judicial inquiry must result in immediate action.
Have you heard about the new software bathroom tissue with total hygiene?
Before the digital age, before the world moved at the speed of a click, there was a signal connecting a nation. In 1986, a journey in broadcasting began in Grenada, a journey that would grow into a trusted voice across the country. For 40 years, through radio and television, we've been there for the stories that shaped our nation, the news that mattered, the voices that informed us, the moments that brought us together. Your stories, your voices, your moments. The Grenada Broadcasting Network.
Further afield, the United States and Saudi Arabia has signed a civilian nuclear cooperation agreement. The deal provoked a backlash in Israel, where opposition politicians have warned that enriched nuclear fuel could eventually allow Riyadh to develop nuclear weapons. We have details in this report.
We have had already Democratic lawmakers here in the US denouncing this as a real risk for nuclear proliferation across an already volatile region, saying that this is terrible policy. One Democratic lawmaker saying that, the whole point, Donald Trump saying that he was attacking Iran to remove their nuclear capacity and then just handing it over to the Saudis. It's also a big concern for Israel, another key part of that region, of course. It's already been denounced there.
Indian Supreme Court refused to hear an urgent petition on police attacks against student protesters in New Delhi as opposition lawmakers led by Rahul Gandhi disrupted both houses of parliament on Wednesday.
This is the first comments Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made since the protests took a very different turn on Monday, when we saw tens of thousands of protesters marching all the way to the gates of the parliament, and that in some sense showcased how big this movement had become. And even though there have been conversations between the Cockroach Janata Party, which is the satirical movement now turned into a massive on-ground protest, and the representatives of the government, we haven't really seen any sign of protesters backing down. What's important about Prime Minister Modi's comments is that he is promising fast-track courts.
And now for your sporting highlights. While Grenada Premier League champion St. John's Sport will play the first match of the 2026 CFU Club Shield today in Trinidad. The tournament runs from July 23rd to August 2nd, bringing together champion clubs from across the Caribbean in a bid for regional glory and a place in the next stage of the continental competition. The national champions will open their campaign against Dumblack FC of Dominica in what is expected to be a competitive opening fixture. The CFU Club Shield is regarded as a key pathway for emerging Caribbean clubs, serving as the qualifying tournament for the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. Both the champion and runner-up of the competition will earn places in the 10-team Caribbean Cup, moving one step closer to the qualifying for the internationally recognized CONCACAF Champions Cup. The GFE says it is confident that St. John's Sports will represent Grenada with pride as the club takes on some of the region's top football teams in pursuit of regional success. And that's your sporting highlights. Do stay with us. We have a recap of the headlines when we return. Recapping the headlines that made the news today, Groovy semi-final takes center stage tonight, and 18 young men graduate from St. Andrew Boys to Men program. In the region, government launches a commission of inquiry. On the international front, Saudis must recognize Israel for nuclear deal, says Trump. And in sports, St. John's Sports play their first match of the 2026 CFU Club Shield today. This has brought us to the end of the luncheon edition of news for today, Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. On behalf of the entire news team, I've been your presenter, Christlina John, thanking you for having joined us.